Man's best friend is no longer the dog.
Cool man, very cool cat.
I love cats.
They're nice and they loving and they like to be cuddled.
These days, Americans are choosing to share their homes with cats more than any other pet. It's not hard to understand why they're so popular.
He's a heartbreaker. He's a big, big baby.
Meow, 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 meow.
It's the closest that man can come to lying down with a lion. You can't go into the jungle and go and hug a tiger, but I can get this guy on my pillow at night.
They're affectionate and independent. They perform amazing feats and make great companions, some of the time.
I always said he was wired funny. He just wasn't neurologically normal.
He paces around the apartment and yowls and drives me crazy.
Chemical depressions, obsessive-compulsive disorders. He began overeating to such an extent that I thought he was going to die.
We, unfortunately, have a country filled with depressed kitties.
What's going on? Could it be that our cat craze is producing crazy cats? New York, the city that never sleeps. Millions flock here for the buzz, the energy, the stimulation. But behind the facade of apartments 11B or 26J are those who can't take advantage of all the city has to offer. While these felines may live in the concrete jungle, it is the wild jungle that lives inside them. Wildcats' lifestyles are a far cry from those of city kitties. They are free to roam, stalk, and hunt. And yet, domesticated cats still feel the instincts of their wild cousins coursing through their veins. Upper East Side, Manhattan. Something's the matter with Boo.
Boo Boo, come here. Sometimes I think he gets depressed.
Half the time, Boo is sleepy. The other half, he's all too awake.
Then when he goes into his obsessive stage, he paces around the apartment and yowls and drives me crazy. He'll pace around and around and around and around, and each time that he passes the door, he'll go to the door.
Boo has shared his apartment with Christine McMurray for all of his 9 years. The other 3 cats seem perfectly happy, but Boo has been troubled since day 1.
I think it's genetic. In a way, it makes me feel better because it means that I didn't do something wrong in raising him.
For Boo's relatives in the jungle, nocturnal hunting is a way of life. But in Christine's studio apartment, it's a real pain.
Every couple of hours, he will jump on the bed and yowl in my face loudly and wake me up. I think I've suffered from chronic sleep deprivation by having this cat.
It all seems linked to his single-minded desire to escape.
Every single time I open the door, he runs out the door.
Watch it, Steve, watch it, Steve.
If you live with an animal that charges to the door every single time you go out of it, it wears on you. It actually wears on you.
Like most pets, Boo enjoys a change of scenery, but he's drawn to the wilds of the 10th floor hall for another reason. Rubber bands, a delicacy he can't resist. One time, curiosity nearly killed this cat. He swallowed so many rubber bands he was rushed to the hospital. But Boo keeps going back for more.
It almost seems that it has something to do with me.
Is Christine doing something wrong? Where can she turn?
The thing that would upset me would be if I had to give him away. I mean, who's going to take a cat that does this? What are we going to do with you?
The truth is, Christine is not alone. problems between cats and their people have become a national epidemic.
My cat is pooping on the carpet.
Fun when I came home tonight. Toilet paper everywhere.
Outside hissing at each other. They were just really mean.
To eat plastic grocery bags.
Hello there, it's Pet Central.
Steve Dale, renowned pet expert and Chicago radio host. Every week, bewildered cat owners inundate Steve with pleas for help.
But I don't know what to do about all the meowing.
Like that?
Yeah.
Can you hold your telephone closer so we can put him on the air?
Come here, kitty.
You know how to talk cat, Pam, and how to listen cat. Is that a happy meow or a sad meow?
It's a confused meow, I would say.
Come here, baby. Cats have a brain for themselves. They think for themselves. They need our attention, they need our love, and they need interaction with us. That's most important. Cats have a need to go after something, and that's the prey drive. They want to hunt. They want to search and destroy.
How does Steve exercise the prey drive of his cat, Ricky?
Very good. Sit now.
According to Steve, cats deserve the same kind of attention as dogs, and you can always teach an old cat new tricks.
Poor Lucy.
But what happens when you try to bring out your cat's inner kitty and you get no response?
That's what we're here for, 591-7200. It is Christine who is up first at 8:10 on WGN. Hi, Christine.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a Blue Point Siamese. His name is Boo. He wakes me up very loudly and then starts in with his pacing around the apartment, and it goes around and around and around and around for hours.
This is a crisis period for him.
It is.
Your cat may have a bordering compulsion, obsessive-compulsive behavior.
Yes.
If it is that, then you're talking about the kind of situation where you really need a behaviorist.
Dr. Vint Verga from Cornell University hits the pavement. The veterinary behaviorist tries to figure out what's ailing city cats like Boo.
I would bet that there's anxious cats out there, disturbed by a variety of different things in the environment. Fire trucks and police cars. People in the city get a pet. It's a different type of relationship. Almost an intensity to the relationship that's a little higher in the city.
Hi, Dr. Verga. Nice to meet you. Boo, I want you to meet somebody. Thank you.
Dr. Verga is one of a small but growing number of veterinary behaviorists in the United States.
So how would you describe the meowing?
Like an obsessive quality, like every 5 paces, you know, meow. It's almost a sad meow. It's like I'm unhappy, meow. What he does in the hallway is he goes up to everybody's newspaper and chews off the rubber band.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I let him break the rubber band because he gets such a big charge out of it.
Dr. Verga isn't just asking lifestyle questions. He's trying to decide if Boo's problem is rooted in genetics or his environment. Is he obsessive-compulsive, or is he simply bored? Every detail tells a story.
So is he chewing those things, or is he sucking on them more? Or is he doing both?
He chews.
Sucking suggests obsessive-compulsive behavior. Chewing could mean a cat is fed up. After many hours, the doctor gives his preliminary diagnosis. It confirms one of Christine's greatest fears.
Nothing here is satisfying.
Boo doesn't have an obsessive-compulsive disorder. It could be he's just bored.
What I don't want you to do is in any way beat yourself up. If you go inadequate environmental enrichment, then it's my fault. No, it's not.
Boo is a long way from the jungle, so the doctor recommends bringing the jungle to Boo. One thing he suggests is hiding food in a play ball. Now Boo will have to work for his dinner.
You mean they have to move the ball around to get the kibble out?
Mm-hmm.
That is a brilliant idea.
Well, it comes from the captive wildlife, the zoo animals.
I mean, then they're getting exercise, too.
Right.
And they're getting stimulation.
Right.
And they're getting fed all at the same time. Right. That's brilliant.
Well, it works for some cats, and some cats not.
Dr. Verga has had a lot of success with troubled cats by training their owners to bring elements of the wild indoors. But what about the stubborn cases that don't improve with environmental stimulation alone? Meet Spike. Meet Linda.
Spike was not an anxious cat. He just started keeping to himself a lot more and really being only interested in food. And if he didn't get the food, then he would be sitting and eating newspapers. He would sleep and he would eat. And he would wait to eat. We've tried everything. And just taking the food away just made him so much more anxious that it was almost impossible to deal with. This is the locale of the IMS. I began to really feel that we were losing him. And out of desperation, I searched around to try to find animal behaviorists.
He was eating all the time. People will sometimes eat to stuff their feelings. I don't know that cats do that per se. And the bottom line that came out of it all is that I felt like this was actually anxiety-related, an anxiety-related eating disorder in a cat.
Dr. Berga prescribed Paxil, an antidepressant similar to Prozac.
I think people say tongue-in-cheek, you know, oh, God, I'm sending my cat to the kitty shrink, and he's going to put her on pussy Prozac.
Sweetie, can we give you a pill? All I have to do is tell people that I have a cat with an eating disorder, and eyeballs start to roll. Oh, your cat's on antidepressants. Oh, that's nice.
We go like this, and we go right down our throat. Thank you, dog.
This was life and death for him. This was not a trivial pursuit. This was not something that I was doing because I had, surplus capital and, too much time on my hands. I was doing it to save a loved one.
Will we become a nation of pets on Prozac? Drowning the deeper problems under a sea of serotonin. The pharmacological approach to therapy is not without its critics. But Linda has no doubt it has worked for Spike. He's still a fat cat, but so far he's lost 3 pounds.
He's just a much more normal, smart, crazy, sensitive furball, although, quite a bit bigger.
While Spike might discover better living through chemistry, most indoor cat problems are rooted in the trials of indoor life.
We like to play this game. You seem to like this.
Back at Boo's, Christine tries her best to give her cat a taste of the wild.
Yeah, I think this one. This is great. This is a great one. Yeah. Yeah, now I got you.
The more we let domestic cats take a walk on their wild side, the happier they'll be.
Very good.
Cats like Boo were once thought to be crazy, but perhaps all Boo really needs is an outlet for his instincts. If so, he has a good chance of finding peace.
What's the matter? Tell me all about it.
And Christine might finally, after 9 years, get a good night's sleep.